Thank you very much. I just arrived today from abroad, so I am not prepared with a speech. And I have a problem. I cannot see with my eyes. I have to go through a surgery, so whatever I wrote, I will not be able to read. I will ask Eli later on to read it. But it gives me a great pleasure to be here, because it is one of the most important conferences the Strategic Dialogue Center held on the last few months in the State of Israel. The legitimization of the State of Israel is terrible. It's more than a nuclear power. It is something which is fundamental in the eyes of the world, the way to destroy the State of Israel. We had here today a very great man, which I'm very proud to welcome, Mr. Sharansky. For us, he is a symbol. He's one of the people who stood against the delegitimization of the Jewish people. And for us, he's one of the proofs that with determination, courage, and the way that he profound and what he did while he was there till he came here, it is something which should be remembered in the Jewish history. Thank you very much for all what you did up till today and what for we are doing today also. We are very proud to have you, and we thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we had here once, not long ago, a conference about the commemoration of the Holocaust. One of our professors presented a picture on the wall. The picture was of children in a kindergarten in Germany. And the picture was as follows. All the children looked into the audience or to the man who took the picture, and one child was facing the wall. And he told us what's the story about this picture. The story was that the nurse came to the kindergarten and told to the children, tomorrow you should come nicely dressed because we are going to take a picture of children in the kindergarten. The day later, all the children came very nicely dressed, including the child who was facing the wall. The nurse asked him, why did you come dressed so nice? He said, because we are taking a picture. She said to him, no, they are taking a picture. You are not taking a picture. You are Jewish. A Jew should not be seen in the picture. This man was the father of our professor. And the picture was taken, and his face was not shown on the picture, and the family was supposed to buy the picture as a proof that their child could not face the camera. Ambassador Yitzhak Meir spoke after he saw the picture. And he said, that is the meaning of Holocaust, the delegitimization. When you are saying that people are not people, when you are not giving them the right to exist, the right to live, the right to stand for whatever they have to get because they are people and they are nation and they have a land and they have a home. That was the beginning of the Holocaust. That's why people were not afraid to take pictures next to the victims, because it was not a crime. We should understand that the fight against Jewish people today is a fight against the legitimization of the State of Israel. If we want to fight it from the beginning, all along, we are giving the legitimization to the denial of the State of Israel. I wrote something and I asked Eli to read it because I cannot read myself. I want to thank you so much for letting me bringing some words. I want to thank you for coming. I think you are doing something very important for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David, for giving me the honor of just presenting these brief words that you had written, but unfortunately you're unable to read. It's really my pleasure to present this. Dear friends, the battle against delegitimization is the most essential challenge that Israel faces today. The man who invented the concept of delegitimization was none other than Joseph Goebbels, head of the Nazi propaganda. His art was not in his ability to justify Nazi ideology, but through his ability to convince millions that Jews were not people, and thus their mass genocide was in fact not a murderous crime. Goebbels' method and system were utilized and adapted to suit the needs of Stalinist Soviet Union in its systematic attack upon various Jewish professionals such as doctors and authors. The propaganda developed by Goebbels and Stalin have been adopted by several state leaders and heads of terrorist organizations. Indeed, the current anti-Israel propaganda machine has its roots in 20th century fascist and communist anti-Semitism. The Goldstone Report is an example of an attempt to deny Israel's right to defend itself against terrorist crimes being committed against it, and thus an attempt to deny its right to exist. Anti-Israel organizations have succeeded to convince many that the indiscriminate firing of rockets on civilian populations is a legitimate act of resistance, and that Israel's response to this act is somehow disproportionate. Indeed, we live in an unjust world in which the international community has a skewed approach to the Middle East conflict. How can we counter such delegitimization campaigns in this context? Israel must explain to the world that at its heart it is a peace-seeking nation. In fact, no other nation seeks peace more than the Jewish people. Anytime life is lost or property destroyed due to a response to an act of terror, Israel must explain its great sorrow and do its utmost to assist the innocents who have been injured. Assaults on Israel's legitimacy are based on the justification of acts of terrorism and an attempt to prevent self-defense. Israel must do with all its power to ensure that the international community understands that terrorism has no justification and that self-defense in the face of terrorism is an inalienable right. We wish you a successful conference. Thank you.